Good evening to the family and friends of Sam Shimek, SCIE staff, students. We gather together here this evening to commemorate the life of our colleague, our teacher, and our friend Sam, who passed away so suddenly last week. We're very pleased to welcome Sam's wife, Shimek, his daughter Dani, and his son Moss, who have all flown in from the United States, and other family members and friends from his life here in China and from SCIE. I'd now like to invite David Arthur, a colleague from the Overseas Studies Centre and also from the Commerce Department, to speak.
Sam loved his brooks. Now, you have to be a cyclist, I don't mean just a bike rider, to appreciate the close relationship between the serious rider and the seat of his bike. Sam was a real cyclist. He'd been a keen rider from the time that he bought his first bike around age 12. I believe that Sam loved a lot of other things beside his Brooks saddle, but he realised that the best things in life are certainly not things. I believe he was convinced that people and relationships are far more important than mere things. Molly, Peter and myself in the Overseas Studies Office will remember his laughter, his sense of humour, his attention to detail, his organisational ability that took the US university applications process from where it was into a sense of order. He was a man with a wealth of experience who was humble enough to take advice, and he made the office a happier place. We'll really miss him. But back to the saddle. We both rode Darhorn folders, and we both loved our saddles, except that his were the Brooks, made of real leather. It had often been said, "Sam, we must ride together sometime." Well, that sometime came last Saturday, a little over a week ago. We folded the 3 bikes, stuffed them into a taxi, and headed for Sam's place at Darmeshar. The day was a beautiful day, much like today, and the coastline beckoned as we pedalled east at a leisurely pace, frequently stopping to admire the views and take photographs. We stopped at the top of one of the hills overlooking the ocean and chatted for a while. Presently, we turned around and rode back, then spent a delightful, unhurried time having lunch and just hanging out together. What great memories. And that was it. We never knew that it would be the last time that it would happen, and on that day the last photograph of Sam would be taken. We never knew. They say you learn something every day, and it happened once again. Take it easy. Stop to smell the flowers. Take the time to show those around you, especially your family and friends, that you love them, because you never know. A wise man once reminded us how fragile life really is. "We're like grass," he said, "that is green in the morning, but mowed down and withered before the evening shadows fall. Therefore, teach us to number our days and recognise how few there are. Help us to spend them as we should, because you never know. Carpe diem, seize the day, for in the end, it is not the years in your life that count, but the life in your years." Thank you, Sam, for reminding us how to pack a lot of life into our years.
Thank you very much, David. I'd now like to call upon Joe Greenwood, Head of Educational Administration and Sam's colleague in the Psychology Department, to say a few words.
Thank you, and good evening. Sam and I worked together this year teaching the A2 psychology course. Sam had originally been a psychology major at the University of Texas when he was an undergraduate there, and even after graduation spent some time working in psychological research. That was before he became a businessman and spent many years working in businesses in the US and in China. When I approached Sam last semester about teaching A2 psychology, he was excited about returning to the subject after so many years, and started planning the course with great enthusiasm. The knowledge and experience he has garnered from many years of life in the workplace brought an understanding to the study of organisational psychology which you can't get from reading books, and I hope that he was able to pass some of that knowledge and understanding onto the students which he taught. Above all, I think that Sam was a nice guy. He was a cheerful person, always positive, he was never judgmental, and always willing to help. He will be greatly missed by myself and all the students in the psychology department, and I hope that we can build on the firm foundations which he has set down for the successful teaching of organisational psychology.
Thank you very much, Joe. Jeff Cairns from the chemistry department has now a few thoughts to share with us about his friend Sam.
Although Sam had been here nearly a year, many of the teachers at SCIE didn't know him very well. He wasn't one of the new groups that starts every August and automatically have something in common. Instead, he arrived at a busy time, right in the midst of our series of exams and holidays, when we're all too busy to meet the new guy. In many ways, the students had more contact with him than the teachers. Perhaps it was because he was American, maybe because he was Texan, probably just because he was Sam. He made an effort to reach out to the rest of us. He became our regular at our gathering table and had much to share. His interests were wide and very typically American. He loved guitars, cars, and bikes of all kinds, and had something to say about each of them. The path he had traveled to become a teacher was, in many ways, more varied than our own, and it gave him a valuable perspective on the topics of the day, whether it be Gibson versus Fender, steel versus fiber, or stocks versus bonds, a popular topic recently. He loved to read and often carried a book, recently going through most of the mystery novels donated to me by another Texan. He was the only person I've ever met who'd read more of the books which had been made into movies than seen the movies that had been made from them. He would tell us of growing and traveling in the States as if it were a different world, and for many of us, it nearly was. Part of what he did, but here, was to help the students achieve their own experiences and the outlook that comes with them. His stories and his presence will stay in our hearts. Who he was and what he shared will remain with us always.